Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that time for Inside the IFL. As always, Big Dog is along for the ride.
What's up?
Man, are you ready?
Yes, I'm definitely ready. How about you?
I'm beyond ready.
Or are we going to do this the right way? And still, since the WWE stole all your shit over the year, why don't you do, still Triple H's shit and go all out and says, you know, are you ready?
Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Hell yeah!
Are you ready? Oh, man.
Why the hell
Oh,
not?
I don't know if I have the voice to do that. I know I could have said, you're fired. I would have been okay doing that, but I'm sure I can do the Are you ready? Considering you just did it, I think we got it covered.
There you go.
So yeah, I'm making sure everybody's got the link up, ready to go. Inside the IFL is now live all over the place,
Oh
so
Lord.
people can check us out. Oh Lord, what? What happened?
Alan's up. Alan's awake. He's in the chat. Look out.
Alan probably can't sleep. He's probably beyond excited for tonight. He has the honor of being in the first game ever, real game. Now we've had a couple preseason games, but this is the one that counts. This is the real deal. It's ready to roll. So
Week one is here. Holy crap.
yes, week one. When you count the regular season, the playoffs, and the championship, we're here. What, the next 16 weeks?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
So for the next 4 months, we're ready to go. And yes, so once the season's over, we're not going to be worried about some quick turnover. Just to get right back into things, we're going to make sure that we take our off season to fix any and all flaws properly, carefully, and adjust any and all whatnots. Uh, I've already talked to you about some ideas for next season already, because that's what we do.
Yep.
We're already trying to raise the bar to a bar we haven't even seen where it's going to be yet, because it only kicks off tonight. So I love that. I think it's great that we actually do that, and I like the fact that we discuss everything now, and I like how we discuss everything as we think about it, because that's what's important, because that's how
You got it.
you choose greatness. That's just how I look at that. That's just how I'll say that. That's how you choose greatness.
All I know is it's Friday. The first game is tonight.
Indeed.
And if you're not excited, then there's something wrong with you.
That would be indeed.
Yep. Even if it's not your team playing tonight, you should still be excited because we're about to start week one of the IFL.
That's right. And it's been a long road to get here. Um, it's a road that should not have had to have been taken, but it was, and it's basically a blessing in disguise, if you will. Um, I couldn't be happier. I have never been this excited for anything that is of this nature in my life. So, like I said, to me, it's awesome, and most of us that are here, I believe, feel the same way. So, at the end of the day, I'm ready to go. You might not hear it in my voice just yet. Still a little tired. I didn't get to go to bed till late. I got in the door from working last night. I finally laid down around 11. and got up at 1:30, 40, whatever the hell it was to do this show. So
Nice.
I'm going on what, 2.5 hours sleep, I guess it would be. But it's all
Gotta
worth
love
it.
that.
It's all worth it. It's dedication.
There you go.
And I know you and I spoke about it. We want to try and get some of these podcasts popping off later in the evening to where maybe we can
Right.
get more and more people involved. But with having family life and things of that nature, it's kind of hard to do. But it's cool. You know, these things are getting views. They're getting checked out. I know we only had like 20 views on the last podcast, but that's fine because I don't expect people to make this their life. If you can watch it, you can watch it. You can give it a listen, you can give it a listen. You know, not a big deal.
I second that.
You know, so, but
Like we said from the get go, this is a hobby. We're supposed, we're just doing it to have fun. It's not life for death. It's not, the be all end all. It's not, all that, all
right.
those sayings that everybody uses. But
hmm and that's why I make it the emphasis to people that watch everything that we do here on your time when you can. It's that simple. Like tonight, there's games at 8:30. It's well a game. It's the inaugural game. We're gonna get to that here in a few seconds. If you can make it, great. If something's up and you can't make it, don't worry about it. If you'd much rather just watch it later on your time, go for it. Tonight's game will be aired live directly on YouTube, and tomorrow's games at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock they'll be aired on Chill TV, so guys can have the live interaction and discussion, things of that nature. So it's going to be a
very
fun,
cool.
fun, exciting time. That's how I look at
Yeah,
it.
should be.
That's just how I look at it, and I think it's
If
going to be fun for everybody.
if the preseason is any indication of how things are going to be, it's going to be real interesting.
Yeah, some of those games were great, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
So, but getting into tonight, you've got the Carolina Pack at the Baltimore Bulls. What is your thoughts going into tonight? Not necessarily on the game itself, if you want to do the game, you know. That being stated,
Uh,
whatever you think.
Excited because it's the first week. It's the first uh, IFL game
Mm-hmm.
ever. I know we already had preseason games, and you can, somebody can say, "Hey, but you had those already, so aren't those?" Well, those are preseason. This will be the first regular season game, and like
Right.
you said, it's been not necessarily a hard road, but it's been a little bit of a long road, and we've gotten, we've had our ups and downs. You know, I'm sure there was people that didn't think it was ever going to come, but it's here. Uh, I'm I just can't wait. I can't wait for it to get going tonight. I can't wait to hear, you know, Cody call it, and I can't. I mean, it's going to be. I mean, wow. I mean, we went from, oh my God, we might not have commentary, and and even then everybody says that's cool. Just use in-game commentary, no big deal. We just want to see the stuff on the field. To now possibly having commentary, and then at that point it was like, oh, I don't know, we can't get it to work, and then they figured it out. So now we have commentary for tonight. It's like, holy crap! It's just all
Mm-hmm.
falling. We're getting all our ducks in a row. And
Right.
I'm going to say all these other stupid cliches. We've dotted all our I's, crossed all our T's, which everything's
Wiped our ass. Oh wait, that's not a
hell yeah.
cliche.
Uh, I mean, as far as all that go, as far as the league itself go, that I'm all getting into the game. I'm also very excited and extremely honored because, as you know, I am the defense coordinator for the Pack. So our team gets to be the one of the first two teams to ever play in the IFL. That's just holy crap. When the league went and voted on all the games, because we let them vote. We let them vote on what game they wanted to see the most. What game? And it was, the league voted for Baltimore versus Carolina. I'm extremely humbled and honored by that. I'm sure Alan feels the same way. It's just, I'm sure everybody that's with Baltimore feels the same way. It's, um, as you can tell, I'm just like, yeah, I can't wait because now it's for real, boys.
Right.
Now so.
Right.
But yeah.
It's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a fun time. You got Alan. Him and I have have a history of things. He was actually your replacement on another podcast after you departed. He and I worked together with a different team in a different location. Um, got together there, had a great relationship. He's going up against TJ Johnston, who, without a doubt, in this type of game, this type of community, this type of hobby, has been one of the best people towards me. He's done nothing but treat me with the greatest of respect and things of that nature, and I can't say enough positive things about him. I just can't. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, what else can you say? I, I just can't wait till game time.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So, why don't we get into this game now, since it's the first game, and then we'll get a couple quick hitters on the other games that'll take place tomorrow. But
Cool.
coming into this game, like I said, everybody knows the history by now, or at least they should, of these two gentlemen involved in this game. So I figure we can just forget all that, not even worry about all that part of it, and just kind of look at the teams and what have you, and their particular builds and whatnot. And I know you might need to go to the website to check it out. The main page is a little messed up at the moment. Why build? Just hit the little 3 lines on the top left-hand side, and you can get to the team builds there. But just coming into this game, Baltimore clearly stocked up on trying to be offensive happy, if you will. They got a gold receiver and a gold running back. Followed that up with another silver receiver and their silver quarterback. So, they're not running any tight ends. They brought in the third wide receiver, who they threw at bronze, who's got 4 abilities. While the Pack, they went with a corner and a tailback at gold, and then came back with 2 silver wide receivers and the silver quarterback, and then finished that up with a silver corner and a silver strong safety. So, and Baltimore also has a silver defensive tackle in A.A. Ron Maximus, who is their highest paid, along with Abraham Bishop Silver. Both of those guys are getting $12 million, which is good for 4 abilities. So, to me, it's going to be a nice matchup. They got the extra free safety in Baltimore. Carolina's got the extra receiver and Leroy Brown. They're clearly running a 3-4 defense, which you know all about since you're running that defense. Playbooks are in, so there's no need to have secrets before we even honestly get into this game as analysts and journalists, if you will, why don't we get into this game as coach and tell us what you did to prepare for this team? And we must have lost Ed yet again. Oh, man. Where'd you go, Ed? Don't know where it went. That kind of sucks. He fell off the call like last time. Oh, boy. Not sure where he is. I'm trying to see if we can figure this out. Ed, if you can hear me, leave. Close out the podcast completely and then re-enter. You have the link. See if that works. That's crazy. I don't know why it does that to him. He was there and then he's gone. Okay, he left. Now he'll be hopefully going back to try and get on that link. And it should work. Because I've actually looked up this thing before. Sometimes it happens to certain people and under certain what have it. What have yous. What word am I looking for here? Whatever it is they're using. Oh. Thomas Goodhart says what happened. Ed apparently lost connection. So we're trying to see if he can reestablish his connection. I think we got him.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, we got you now.
God, this fucking thing.
Oh, man. What happened to you this time?
We were in the middle of talking. Next thing I know, it just came through. It stopped coming through my headphones, and it started coming through the computer, and then it was just I couldn't do nothing.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know why that does that to you.
I have no clue. Just
a little disappointing and depressing, I guess.
Yeah, my little computer here is it's damn near ready to be thrown out the door. So that could be, yeah.
And you've kind of been saying that about that for over a year. So if it was like a year ago, I can only imagine how bad it is now.
It's getting worse.
But all right. Well, as I was saying before you fell off the call, instead of breaking down this game as analysts and journalists, I want to break down. Not necessarily break down, but since all playbooks have been entered, you don't need to hide anything. How did you?
Uh-oh.
Say what?
Okay, how did I what? Because I kind of lost you there.
Yeah, how did you approach this game as a coordinator? What did you do to prepare for this team?
Nothing special, I can tell you that.
Pew, 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 pew. No? Well, as I was saying, oh man! All of a sudden, I got my speakers blaring in the background. I want to break down. going to say it right now, but all playbooks have been entered. Yes, and then you don't need to hide anything. How did you? I'm trying to locate where it's coming from. I can't find it.
I have no idea.
That's interesting. Kind of lost you there. And how did you approach this game as a coordinator? So yeah, I'll just let you finish your statement. How you said nothing special.
Yeah.
This way, guys can understand where you're coming from.
I didn't do anything special. I basically went in and got the defense that I know how to run. I know what plays work, what don't work. I basically said, did what I do, and I sent it to Al and said, "Here you go. This is what we're doing." I said, "If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll go back to the drawing board." But I'm not. I'm not doing.
Back to the drawing board.
I'm not freaking out. I'm not going. I didn't go crazy. I didn't. I said, you know what? This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm running. This is what I know how to run. Yeah, and simple as that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's something I learned by playing this for a while now, is adjusting your defense to me to what the opponent did prior is stupid. Considering they might not do it at all this time.
Right.
So to me, your best bet is to stick with what you do and do you, and not worry about what other people do.
Yep, and that's Alan will tell you that's what I told him. I said we're gonna do this. I said, and if we decide it's not what's working, I said then we'll go other direction. I said, but this is what I know what works. This is what I've been playing around with. This is what it. So we'll see. They come out there and do something totally different that no one ever thought they would do, and could completely torch my defense.
Right.
Then again, our defense could completely shut them down. Like I said, I'm not stressing it. I'm not gonna freak out. I'm just ain't worth it. Just ain't worth it getting all freaked out and all upset and going crazy about it. It just, we're just having fun. It's not like it's, life or death, or we got $100,000 on the line, and
yeah.
If we had $100,000, there's $100,000 on the line at the end of the season, I'd be a little more, but it's not. It's just. It's a game, to have fun. I mean, the only thing you can do is pick your plays and hope the computer runs it right. If the computer doesn't run it right, there's nothing you can do about it. There's not, there's just no reason to get all stressed. You know as well as I do. A lot of guys, in our previous league we were in, stressed out way too much, man. And then, and I saw that, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. It happened to me when I walked away the first time. I'd let the stress just build and then let shit bother me, and I'm like, I'm not doing it this time. Nope.
Yeah.
It just ain't worth it.
The key is to have fun.
Hell yeah.
And thus far, that's all it's been. I mean, hell, the whole process of everything that I've done on my part when it comes to creating and building and developing the IFL, never at once has it really been hard. It's been more annoying, if anything, and that might not be even the best word to choose. It's not that much work. It's really not. It's not that hard. It's really not. Just a few things were tedious. having to build the rosters. I mean, that might have been the most tedious part, and the rest has been pretty much cake, falls into place. It's real simple. Um, and the worst part for me has been the, am I going to get it there? Will this fall apart before day one? Well, that's today, and we're ready to go. So that answer has come down, and my stress level is zero. My excitement level is through the roof. And tonight,
200%.
Pack and the Bulls are going to give us a show.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
And then we got 3 more games tomorrow. So,
I have all the respect in the world for everybody over at Baltimore. Class organization. So, I know Alan's been probably biting at the bit for this one. I know he wants this one bad because I know he wants to beat TJ. But, I look at it this way. If we win, we win. If we lose, and as long as it's a hell of a showing and everybody says, your team gave 100%, you didn't quit, you didn't do this, I'll still be happy. I'm not stressing wins and losses anymore. I'm not stressing. I'm not doing it. I'm just not.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. Like I said, in the other place we were at, I let that get to me. Everybody saw what happened and heard what happened. I freaking lost it, and after that, I said I'll never do it again. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because it ruined it. It ruined everything. I didn't have any fun. From then, it just didn't ruin that. It ruined. I couldn't even watch regular football after that. I was so pissed off, and so I just couldn't do it.
That's insane.
It bothered me that much.
Absolutely insane.
And I agree with Mighty. I hope we both teams put on a show tonight. I hope we put on a show, both teams, and everybody else in the league go, oh my God, when do we have to play Baltimore? When do we have to play Carolina? I don't want to do it. Yep.
Yeah. Like I said, you go look at the teams and the way they're built. As I was mentioning earlier, Macho Fog is going to be going one-on-one tonight with Joe Starr all night. That's a gold versus a gold. And then both teams come back with gold running backs. They're different styles, I think, different builds. They both got the silver quarterback. One has 2 silver receivers. The one only has 1. But they got the silver corner. The other team's got the 2 silver corners. And one's got the silver strong safety to the other one having the silver defensive tackle. And then at the bronze, you got a wide receiver, linebacker, and both safeties for Baltimore, while Carolina comes back with their safety, 2 linebackers, and a tight end, something that Baltimore's not carrying. And then Carolina actually has the 4th receiver, or 3rd receiver, rather. They got 3 receivers with the tight end. Whereas in Baltimore, they got Macho Falk, Denzel Woods Jr., Deshaun Wilson, did not carry the tight end. So, they have one more star weapon. And to me, they don't have a kicker, Carolina. Whereas Jonathan S. Mastropiro, I think I just said that name, Mastropiro. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. If not, he can smack me. But they got this star kicker. So, to me, it's going to be exciting. The builds are kind of similar for the most part. It's going to come down to playbooks. And we know if it's a vintage Baltimore TJ team with Max, they're going to go some nickel heavy. And we know if it's vintage Ed Ritter, they're going 3-4. So we're going to see a lot of 3-man fronts in this game tonight, I believe, from both teams.
It's going to be interesting. No doubt about that.
So, yeah, I'm stoked for this.
And
tons of fun.
I'm going to be.
And I know for a fact it's going to be great.
Going to be pretty emotional once the game starts.
Yeah. Why is that?
Oh yeah, it's going to be a little. I mean, I got my two guys playing.
Mm.
You know, my son's two guys are on the team. It's and I know how he gets when he's involved. So he's already, WWE's got some stuff coming on here at 3 o'clock. He says we got to watch out. He says tonight we're watching the IFL. He says tomorrow we're doing this and we're doing this. I mean, he's planning. Yeah, he's got our evening planned out. So it's like already.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I mean, he's gonna be the quarterback for the pack. Your grandfather's namesake, starting tailback for the pack, and then you're calling
Actually,
the defense for the pack.
he, yeah, he's named after my great grandpa and my grandpa. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm not going to ask you who you feel is going to win tonight.
No, it's not. It's not chicken. Mommy just got a big steak.
Okay, that was way off. Really random. And then I realized you were talking to your kids.
Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, my two daughters just got home.
Chicken or steak, ladies and gentlemen. Send in your VIP respond right now cards today.
Yes,
I forgot what they were referred to as there for a minute.
my oldest, she has 2 days left, and then she graduates on Sunday. So,
Wow. Doing it on the weekend, are they?
yeah, she goes Monday and Tuesday, and then next Sunday they graduate. Yeah, they always do graduation on Sunday. So yeah, next Sunday she graduates. It's just like I'm not gonna lie, I will be a blubbering mess that day. I've basically tried to ignore it for how long now because I'm just not ready. The years have gone by way too fast. I cannot believe she's a senior. It's just like holy crap.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, getting back to this, getting back to the exciting stuff of the IFL.
Yeah. Well, before we get there, your daughter's gonna do. Well, she's gonna follow our lead, if you will. She's going to get out of high school, further that education, so she herself can choose greatness.
I like it. I like
I'm
it.
right on that. I said, we all here at the IFL obviously wish her the best of luck. And this way, hopefully, she'll make enough money in the future to where when you're so old and can't take care of yourself, she can pay someone to change your diapers.
I'll be okay with that. I changed how many diapers in my time. Yeah, I'll be all right if somebody changed. So, yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Like I said, as you can tell, I'm trying not to get too emotional about it because I know how I'm going to be next Sunday. It's going to hit me. It's going to hit me hard. I'm I'll go into this a little bit, and I'm trying not to make it all about me. But you know what? I guess I don't care. But anyway, when it comes to my side of the family, since been married for 20 some years, so let's talk about our side, my side, her side, whatever. But when it was my time to graduate, when I graduated in '92, I was the first one on my side of the family to graduate. And 20 some years later, I now have a daughter who's graduating, so I'm I always knew the day would come because you start having kids, and then they start growing up, and then next thing you know, they're in junior high. Next thing you know, they're in high school, and now, like I said, now she's a senior. She's got 2 days left, and then, uh, yeah, if I keep talking about it, I'm gonna start crying now. So let's talk about football.
Yes. A huge matchup. First game of the season. Bulls, Pack. Someone's going to start that season 1-0. One of them's going to go to 0-1.
Unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast. That's how it works. But like I said, what was really cool was the league voted as a community, as a whole, as a league, however you want to say it. This is the game they wanted to see. Everybody, everybody that voted said we want to see this game. So, like I said earlier, I'm humbled and honored that that's what they felt. But but I don't want to take anything away from Saturday's games. So let's get into those.
Well, before you get into those, I want to touch on what you just said, how they voted. I want to remind people again of that because we can't stress it enough. Each week, we're going to post the 4 games on our Slack, and the community is going to vote the game of the week. Everyone has a voice. Everyone has an opinion, and they all matter. It's not up to 1 or 2 people what game's going to be aired when. You vote. Only thing we ask is you vote honestly and fairly, not just because you play for a certain team or you coach for a certain team or you own a certain team. Seriously, look at all 4 matchups. Be honest to the community, be fair with the community, and say this game probably has the most interesting matchup, could be the toughest game, the closest game, whatever you want to look at it, but to that type of criteria. And again, of the 4 games, whichever one gets the most vote, each week will be the game of the week. The game that gets the second most votes will be aired alone by itself at 4 o'clock on Saturdays. The other 2 games get released at the same time at 1 o'clock on Saturdays. That's how the voting decides. So once the game ends, Saturday at 4, as long as I'm not tied up, I'm letting everybody know now, as long as I'm not tied up and get busy for some reason, I will go into the game chat channel. I'm thinking that's where I'm going to put it. And I will drop the games for week 2 and let the voting begin Saturday night. Voting will only last for about 48 hours. So, we can get a close on it, so we know exactly what games to take care of and not to take care of. So that's just how that's going to work. So pay attention to the game chat channel and get in there and vote. Probably Saturday night. And like I said, if I get too tied up for some reason and can't do it Saturday night, I will make sure I post everything Sunday morning before I go to bed after I come home from work because I work Saturday nights. So that's what's nice. When I got home this morning from work, I was like, yes, all 4 games will have been run over and done before I ever got to go back to work.
I love that.
And I still need help with stats, ladies and gentlemen. It'd be nice to get my hands on 8 people who can help, and everybody takes a certain team. If that don't happen, that's great. Ed himself is going to help. Cody Ewing had said he'd help. Tipton 2340 mentioned to me he'd help, but I haven't heard back from him just yet. But if we can get that, we only need to take stats for the star players and the star players only. We don't need to take all the other stats. And then, of course, we're going to take the team stats as far as rushing yards and passing yards allowed in game, as well as overall stats. That's all self-explanatory. If for some reason you get confused on what you should and or shouldn't use, if you look on the website, I don't have it done yet, but there's a stats link that I'm putting together, and on there's where everything's going to be. And like I said, it's not up just yet, but it's going to be there in case you get a little confused and you want to do stats. For some reason, Weebly's messing with the HTML that I'm using for the website, and it's got it all blocked up in the wrong directions, and I don't know what's going on with that. I'm going to try and get that fixed. If not, I'm just going to have to go back to the old look that we were using, which kind of sucks. But I'm limited to what I can and can't do since I'm using a free service over at Weebly. My own self. But either way, Again, votes will take place. Vote. We need statistician people, anyone who can chip in any way possible. So, but yes, we'll get into Saturday's games, and then we'll make sure we close the show out by discussing the game of the week, which takes place tonight in about a little less than 6 hours. So, which game do you want to get into first?
Well, let's just talk about the two games there at 1 o'clock, and then whichever one. I don't care. Pick one. We can talk about.
Well, you got Tampa Bay and Boston. So we might as well just, since I mentioned that one first, we might as well just dive into that one.
All right. Well, when you look at that game, I guess the biggest question is everybody's asking, and they're going to ask, and that they have after seeing what they did in the preseason. Like we said, it's only preseason, but at the same time, this, if that was their legit playbook and their defense did what they did, the question is going to be is, can they do it again? Is that defense legit? Is it real? As far as Tampa Bay, a lot of questions. Got those two goal tight ends, and neither one of them was their leading receiver. They have Silver fullback that a lot of people believe they didn't use him enough. So now that questions will be asked. Did they figure out how to use the tight ends? Did they figure out how to use the fullback? A lot of questions for both teams going into that game because, Boston's offense kind of. So did he figure? Did Bo Davis figure that out?
Right. Yeah, both teams. It's going to be a tight end happy game. I think as long as both teams utilize them.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be fun. We've expressed this plenty of times and gone over this plenty of times. But the double gold tight end set, it's still going to take some time for me to get used to that and for me to understand where he was going with that and the approach that he was making with that. But I'm familiar with utilizing a gold tight end, and I know if you use it right and get it to work right, it can be a very nasty situation for a defense to deal with. So I wish him all the best of luck, and getting it to where he wants it to be. And hopefully for that franchise, they do.
Yep. And Jax did say, he accepted the challenge because, when we did the power rankings, people that voted, they did vote. They did vote Tampa Bay 8th. So he's, his response was, hey, somebody had to be there. So he was all right with it. He says, no, right. I'm just going to prove everybody wrong, which I give him a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, which I thought was great. How he stood up and said, "Hey, I'll take 8th." How do you say? Challenge accepted.
Exactly.
So I was like, "There you go," and that was cool to see. And he's been nothing but gracious with the whole thing so far. And that's one thing I gotta say about the guys we got in place. Everybody's been a class act. Everybody's been just really cool and really fun to be around, talk to. When it comes to time for playbooks and stuff, and the guys hit me up, and I won't get into all the particulars right now, but a couple owners have given me the shit when it's coming to playbooks and stuff, just messing with me. Oh no, I wanted this. No, wait, this, and it's like I just got you. Trying to get me all worked up. I screwed up or something, just to mess with me. And they're funny.
They just want to get your stress level high. I love it.
But yeah. So, but yeah, just to really dive into this particular game, I'm not someone who's a fan, if you will, of lower tier quarterbacks. I don't think they're a good thing to have. I think it's more ideal to have at least a silver. Might be how I have to word that. Although I mean, even I'd rather have probably a gold quarterback. But that's one of the reasons why I love how we set this league up, because you're limited to 2 golds. So, this game that we're talking about, Thomas Servo is a bronze for the Boston Liberty, and Tampa Bay's quarterback Rocket Perez is also a bronze. You know, uh, Boston put 5 abilities on him, whereas Tampa Bay put 4 on their quarterback. So, yeah, Boston, and it was touched on by Mr. Davis during his his ability guest show, I guess we'll call it. He happened to mention how Boston spent their money, where they put 12 million on both golds. They put 9 million on all 5 of the silvers, 10 million on all 4 bronzes, and then 3 million on all the coppers. So I mean, they really spent the money evenly at each and every single tier, to the best of their ability. You know, I mean, you take for example Tampa Bay, who they're playing. They got 2 $16 million tight ends, and then they have 2 guys at 12 million at silver, and the other 3 are 9. They got 8 million on 3 of their bronzes. One's at 6, and then they have 2 $2 million coppers and a 3 million. So there's a lot of disparity within the money and how it was spent. But you know, it's going to be fun. And I want to say this. This is something I want to definitely mention. The 2 defensive linemen that Boston has, how effective can they be? And the fullback for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be interesting. It's, both teams got a lot of questions, and hopefully both teams will figure it out. And it can only helps the league get better. If everybody starts figuring everything out and games are close every week, and everybody's like, oh man, this team is this and oh that team is that. It's just it just doesn't help them. It makes everybody. The whole league will just be. It's going to be all. I mean, good Lord. I mean, just look at the teams now. I've said it before. I think from top to bottom, every team. I think anybody could win.
And I'm going to throw a trivia question to you. I love my trivia questions.
Oh, I know.
We got 8 teams in this league. And there's always the age-old question where people discuss the importance or lack thereof of a defensive lineman on a star position. So without cheating and without looking, of the 8 teams, how many are carrying defensive linemen?
I'm going to guess 3. I could be wrong, but
you guess 3. Well, I will go through each one. You can count them. In Baltimore, in Baltimore, they got a silver defensive tackle, an Aaron Maximus.
Okay, there's one.
So that makes 1 team. Boston, they are carrying copper defensive tackle Jonas Barson and silver defensive end Abe Raham. The New York Cobras are carrying silver defensive tackle Willie Blackheart and copper defensive end Danger Moon.
I'm already wrong because I know Philly's got it.
They have a gold defensive tackle in David Cox. The Tampa Bay Stallions have a bronze defensive tackle in Lincoln Fox. And the Tokyo Kitsune have a copper defensive tackle in Roe Brodeen and defensive end Devon Wright.
Alrighty.
So did you count
that? 6?
That is 6 of our 8 teams. 6 out of 8 are carrying defensive tackle, or defensive tackles, or defensive ends. So defensive linemen. That should have been how I ordered that. And the only 2 teams in the league that are not are Carolina, who's playing tonight, and Arizona.
Interesting.
Yeah. 2. I'm double checking something here. 3. Yes, that'd be 3. Yes, and 3 of the 6 are carrying multiple defensive linemen.
Wow. Nice.
So we'll see, I think for sure with this, how important it is to carry defensive linemen. So we'll see how many team sacks Carolina and Arizona can get throughout the season compared to these other teams, and how many more sacks or lack thereof the teams with multiple defensive linemen can get, as opposed to the ones with just one.
Right.
Because I'm sitting here trying to look at this and see, like I said, a silver defensive end and a copper defensive tackle for Boston. New York's got the silver defensive tackle and the copper defensive end, and Tokyo's got two copper defensive ends. So as far as the money spent and where they put it, Boston and New York each have a silver defensive lineman and a copper to follow it up, but they went the opposite direction. New York's got the silver defensive tackle, copper defensive end, whereas Boston's got the other way around. They got the silver DE and the copper DT. So maybe we'll see which way that's more effective as well. So we're going to be able to learn a lot with these builds on these teams this season, just with things like that, and how important some of these types of builds could or couldn't be. You know, and we went over it the other week as far as gold quarterbacks. That's always the discussion. Is a gold quarterback important or a gold running back? And when you go through the league and look, you will see that the following teams: Boston, New York, which makes two teams, and Tampa Bay makes three teams. They are the only three teams in the league not carrying a gold running back. So we got 5 gold running backs, and we only have 1 gold quarterback in the entire league. And that's King Cannon with New York. So we're going to learn a lot as far as builds and what type of tier is important for a player and what have you. But getting back to Saturday's games, since that's where we should be at, and tonight's game. The other one's Arizona and Philadelphia. Your thoughts on that game?
Once again, it's going to be interesting because, knock on wood, we'll get to see your guy play a whole game.
Yeah, that kind of sucked with a preseason game, and not just because it was my player. It kind of sucked because Baltimore and Arizona, they really didn't get to see what they really truly were because of that, because I think it was very impactful to the game. And another thing that sucked is poor Arizona lost their gold running back in the first half, and then lost their gold strong safety in the second half.
Yes.
So they were going with no gold player. I think it was for almost 2 full quarters. You know, so what are they truly made of? What are they not truly made of? And same with Baltimore. So yeah, like you said, knock on wood. Hopefully he'll get to go see he'll get to have a full game, and hopefully Philly was able to prepare accordingly.
Right. You know, I know Mr. Davis is very high on his defense there in Philly, but you know, it's going to be brought up. You know, yeah, you beat Tampa Bay in the preseason, but you also beat a team that really did not use their team the right way. You know, so it's and then,
subjective.
It is, and then there was his comment of they scored in garbage time. No, they scored early in the game, dude. So it wasn't. It was
7-7 early in the second quarter, and then after that, Philadelphia said, "Screw off, we're going to run away with this thing," and that's pretty much what they did.
Exactly. But
it was a dominating.
Like I said, if that defense shuts down Arizona like it did Tampa Bay, and with his running back the way he had him going, good Lord,
Yep. Yeah, I had that conversation with Davis personally. We were discussing his team and the build and the way things went, and we both pretty much on the same page. So I'll just elaborate on what we were saying to each other. We feel that defense is going to be fine. We really do. It's going to be a matter if he can find enough offense. And that's right. I think that's kind of the same feeling that Bo Davis has down there up there in Boston. I think both these defenses are going to be fun. Based on what I saw in preseason, based on build, wouldn't shock me once the season comes to a close that these two might be two or top three defensive tackle or defenses in the game in this league. They have the builds for it, I think. So it's just going to be a matter of finding the right chemistry for that offense, and I'm pretty sure he'll be able to find it. The question is going to be how long will it take him, because that could be huge.
Right.
So, but yeah, Arizona,
Yeah.
and Philadelphia. This is the only gold strong safety in the league too, in Tank Tatum.
Right.
So, and he's got the two silver defensive backs with him back there as well, and Jimmy Cash at free safety, and Stevie T. Diggs, who owns the team, at corner. But they have a copper free safety as well, and Mookie Whitaker, and their other corner is Willie Casper, and he's a bronze. So, I mean, they kind of spread around where all their defensive backs were. Whoa. Where'd you go?
Oh, sorry, I had to take my headphones off for a second. I had to tell my oldest daughter to go get my son at the bus stop. So.
And I'll mention this because Philadelphia, they got the silver corner, but their other corner is a copper. Their bronze free safety, and their strong safety is the silver. So they kind of threw their defensive backs all over the place as well. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, but they took all their money and put it on that defensive tackle.
Yeah, and then followed it up and tried to double down by putting it on Duncan Northrup and running back as well. That's 44 their $120 cap on those two players.
That's wow.
That's $44 million. Just to put that in perspective for everybody, Arizona spent $36 million on golds. So that's an $8 million difference. $32 million was spent by Baltimore. $32 was spent by Carolina. $24 million. Let's put this in perspective real quick. $24 million was spent by Boston. Boston has $24 million invested in 2 golds, whereas Philadelphia's got 24 invested on 1 gold. 32 total million spent by New York on the golds. Same with Tampa Bay, and 28 million spent by Tokyo. So the $44 million spent on the golds by Philadelphia is by far the most spent by any team.
Ask him where his sucker.
They spent $8 million more than any other team on their gold players. So they're going to live and die by Mr. David Cox and Mr. Duncan Northrup. There's no question about it.
I agree.
At least you would hope so. You're going to put that kind of money in them. You're going to make that team click with them. So.
Yeah, I hope. I hope Chris, at one point, is not pulling out his hair, going, "Oh my God, why did I do it? Why did I give him all that money?"
I'm sure every team is going to come down that once in a while. Why did I put that much money in the guy? Maybe except for Boston, I don't think they're going to do it unless the bronze players don't work out. When you put 5 abilities on every single one of your bronze players, if they don't work out, you're going to ask yourself, why didn't I just put some of that money into another guy at a higher tier?
Yep.
But yeah, it's going to be fun. So let's get to tonight's game so we can wrap this thing up.
But you have to admit, though, like you said, look at every team's build. Everybody's different. Everybody's spent differently. That's why it's going to make this league unfreaking believable. It really is. And it's on it's on legend difficulty, which I noticed it the very first time I watched it when we decided it was going to be legend, and we were discussing things, and you and I were talking about it. Like, did you see that? Did you never seen that before? Did you see? And I mean, right away you noticed the difference. So, yeah, this is going to be fun. I mean, everybody, we all have done this before, but we're always on. Everybody was the all pro. This is legend, so everybody's adjusting to that. Learning, because we're all still learning. Does this work better in legend than it did here? Did this do this? Did this do? So it's going to be a process this year But at the same time, I think it's going to be one hell of a fun process.
Yeah, it's for sure. And to touch on what you were saying about the builds, it's 100% fact on the builds. I mean, like I said, you got teams with double silver tight ends, double gold tight ends, double gold corners. One team with a gold quarterback, no one else. One team with a gold strong safety, nobody else. Some teams with 4 wide receivers, some with 3. So the builds are absolutely positively in every which weird direction you can think of, and it's going to come down to playbooks, which are smaller here. You don't get to put as much into your playbook. You're limited to what you can and can't use because of the playbook cap, if you will. So, and yes, unbiased facts. Who's in the chat? Yes, he says, remember, choose greatness. 100% fact. Uh, and thanks for the commercial that we have, if you will, the little hype video, how we want to refer it as TJ. I want to give him a shout for that. Appreciate it.
All right, I gotta jump here for just a second. I'll be right back. I have clothes hanging outside. I gotta bring them in real quick because it's starting to rain. So hold on for a second.
Mr. Mom has just ran outside, ladies and gentlemen, to get the laundry so the rain doesn't get the clothes that are already wet attempting to dry. Wet. The irony in that. So, but yeah, tonight, 8:30 kickoff. Cody Sexy Klein is on the call. Him and Davis have figured it out. So I'm hoping, as I apologize as I'm yawning, as I'm on 2 to 3 hours sleep. I'm hoping there's going to be no hiccups for those gentlemen tonight. They've really busted their butts trying to figure that out and try to put it together. So tune in, be a part of the game, be a part of the action. Tweet the game out if you have a Twitter. Drop the game in your Facebook if you have a Facebook. Put the link out there for people to tune in and to join us and just to give us a look. Even if they show up for a few seconds and see what we're made of, you never know. They might say, hey, I like this and want to join. Or they might say, what the hell is this shit? And leave. But either way, share the link every time.
Yeah.
Each week. Put it out there.
I'm back.
All right. Mr. Mom is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I have no problem being called that, dude. I am, like I tell everybody else, I'm semi-retired. So.
Semi-retired. Yeah. But let's get into this game. And let's just really try and break this game down. I know it's a little hard for you to do because you're going to come at it from a biased angle, whether you want to or not, just because you're there. You're playing there. You got kids there. You're coaching there. So you're highly invested into this game with the Carolina Pack going up against the Baltimore Bulls. But what do you think? And it's a 2-part question because it's going to be the same question, just hitting you from both directions. What do these 2 teams need to do to beat the other, in your opinion? I know it's hard to say because we've only had one preseason game. But just what's your gut telling you?
Well, as far as Carolina goes, the defense has got to do what the defense needs to do, and then we have to get the offense scoring. Because we all know by looking at the build, the offense is supposed to be a high-powered offense and score. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people discuss that. We didn't see that in the preseason.
Right.
We need to see that. Got to see that tonight. Baltimore, it's kind of hard to say because we've already brought it up a few times. We really didn't get to see everything about them due to injuries on the other team, and that that made a big factor in the game. And I'm sure when those players went down, even though we don't have anything to do with it, the AI in the game adjusted to that and say, hey, we don't have to do this, we don't have to do that because this is gone, that's gone. So we really didn't get to see everything. So I really don't know. Honestly, I don't know what to say would be what they need to do, what they don't need. I don't know. Maybe you have a better perspective of that than I do. I,
Well, I can say this for the two teams. This is how I look at both teams on what they need to do to win. Um, with Baltimore going against Carolina, they if they did their due diligence, they had to submit a playbook that can manipulate a 3-4 defense. They have to attack the 3-4 defense. Whatever way they feel is the way to beat it, whether it be running inside, outside, throwing short, wherever it may be, whatever it is they think they're going to do. They need to attack a 3-4 defense and find its weaknesses to put up points. That's how I look at that. For Carolina, as far as against Baltimore's defense, like I said, if this is typical Baltimore, TJ, Max, Paul, typical defense, they need to find a way of manipulating the nickel defense. Okay.
Because now Dwayne's hollering for me, so I'll be right back.
So they got to manipulate the nickel defense. So my thing is, if you prepare for the defense, and I just think that's the way it's going to be. I just think it's going to be. I think it's going to be clearly a nickel defense. The build in Baltimore gives it away for me. That's the way I look at it. And then at the same time, like I said, you got to be able to manipulate that 3-4 defense. And for the first time ever that I've been doing anything of this nature, you see a team like Carolina who's going to come in with 4 linebackers that are star players. I've never seen 4 star linebackers on one team. And you got Josh Smith at outside linebacker and Michael Stonebreaker at inside linebacker at Copper, both carrying 3 abilities. And then you got 5 abilities on inside linebacker John Burns and outside linebacker Ed Ritter. So that's 5 abilities on those guys. That's 10 abilities plus 3 on the other guys. That's 16 abilities dropped on 4 linebackers. Yow. So that's just a lot of money spent. And you got 4 abilities on the gold corner. You got 3 abilities on the silver corner and the silver strong safety, and 3 abilities on the bronze free safety. So there's a lot of money invested on their defense. But wow, 5 abilities on Ritter and Burns when Stonebreaker and Smith each got 3. So they're heavily invested into this 3-4 defense, and you got to just find a way to manipulate it.
Oh, sorry about that.
Don't know if you heard what I was just saying there about the linebackers.
No, I didn't. I didn't even. I was in the.
I was just saying.
Dealing with Dwayne.
I was just saying, for the first time ever for me, and I'm sure you're going to confirm this for yourself. This is tonight's game is exciting for me on this aspect because I love defense. Be the first time we ever witnessed that I've seen, like I said, a team carry 4 star linebackers.
I think you're right.
And like I said, the Carolina's got $3 million invested in both their coppers and 5. That's 3 abilities. And 5 abilities, which is the equivalent of $10 million in both their bronze linebackers. So they have 16 abilities locked into their 4 linebackers. And that's what I'm saying. They got to find a way to manipulate this 3-4 and beat the 3-4. And you got 4 linebackers who are clearly maxed out at their tier, so they can get the best of their ability out. So yeah, I just think prepare for the nickel if you're Carolina, and prepare for the 3-4 if you were Baltimore. And offensively, that's what I'm saying. If you prepare offensively, that's what you're going to do to beat those types of defenses. And if I'm Carolina or Baltimore, I'm honestly not going to prepare for what I think the other team's going to do against me. I'm going to build my defense and force you to beat it rather than me chase you.
Good point.
I honestly think that could be a mistake a lot of people make doing this type of game. I think they honestly try to guess what their opponent's going to do and prepare accordingly, as opposed to I'm going to leave it alone and make you prepare for me. And Allen's in the chat saying you can't turn the ball over tonight 6 times, and that Carolina will hold Baltimore to 24 points.
Dang.
Well, he says if we hold Baltimore to 24 points, they win. So he set the bar. I misread that, so my apologies to Allen. But he has set the bar at 24 points. A 24 underscore on Baltimore, he's pretty much guaranteeing a victory based on this statement. If they get to over 24 points, he's afraid they're going to lose. So if he's afraid,
nothing like putting pressure on the defense.
Well, look at it this way: if 24 points is the measuring stick, and you've got to hold them to 24 points or less, does that mean you feel your offense is not capable of scoring over 24 points itself?
That's a good question.
How would you analyze that? What brings you to that number?
That you'd have to talk to him. You have to see what he's thinking.
I don't know if he's still in there. If he's in there, he can let us know exactly the answer to that statement I just made. We'll share it. But take all biasness. He says it's okay. Take all biasness out of this game. I want you to look at this game based on build and based on what you saw at preseason with what you could pull from it. And be an honest journalist, if you will. As a betting man, if I said, here's $1, go bet it. If you're correct, you win 100. Which team would you pick to win this ball game tonight, and why? That's right. I'm throwing you on the spot.
Sorry, Alan, but I'm taking Baltimore. If I'm going to bet, I'm taking Baltimore because just by going by what we saw and what we did and didn't see, I think we saw more from Baltimore in the preseason than we did from Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, truly believe that our offense is a lot better than what we've shown in the preseason. But until we see it, you have to kind of say, And then once you do see it, you're going to turn around and go, oh, crap, we got to play against that offense? But until, like I said, until you see it, you got to go. Like I said before, I think Baltimore could be one of the most complete teams in the league. And with the two guys they have over there, I don't know, because I know what I can do. I know what Allen can do. Both of us have proved what we can do. Different places, different teams. Now we have to prove that we can do it together.
Right.
And until we get everything going the way it's supposed to be, there's always going to be those questions. So
right. It's a matter of finding the chemistry.
Exactly.
And that's why for me, I picked the Bulls to win this game and to pick them just for the simple fact that I know Mighty and TJ, they already have that chemistry. They've worked together long enough. And I will read what Unbiased Facts has shared in our chat. He said, Bulls win and easy. You heard it here first. Bulls 34, Pack 17.
Damn.
So he feels the Bulls are going to double up the Pack. Wow. I'm not sure if you're familiar with who Unbiased Facts is.
No, I don't.
I do. I don't want to say his name unless he wants to let us know. Because, Unbiased Facts, if you want to let us know who you are, which I know who you are, I believe. Could be wrong. Let us know. If you want to keep who you are secret, just let us know.
Hello? Yeah.
It's trying to look all over. No. So, yeah.
All right. Sorry. I had to answer the phone. I'm telling you.
Oh, we heard. It's a busy day over in the Ritter home, apparently.
Oh, it's insane.
Oh, there it is. He shared it with us.
Castro Patron, huh?
Yes, that's exactly who I thought that was. So
So he thinks the Bulls going to beat the Pack 34-17, huh?
yeah, DD does.
Well, just like Jack Diamond said after his team was voted the 8th team in the league, I'm going to say this. Challenge accepted, and the defense will be ready.
There you go. All right. Put your journalist cap on.
It's on.
What's the final score tonight?
Well, since I said I'd bet on Baltimore, if it was so you got to go with Baltimore. And 24-21.
34-21.
No, 24-21.
Oh. All right. Now put your coaching hat on. What's the score?
Coaching? The coaching hat. Okay, what do I think we'll... All right, then I'm going to switch it and say we win 24-21.
I don't know why I found that funny, but I do.
Yeah, I say, if they win, I think it's like their kicker kicks a field goal, wins it for them. When we win, since everybody's doubting, since we we have a generic kicker, the generic kicker says, "Up yours, watch this," and he wins it.
Right. I was trying to keep up with the chat here at the same time.
Wow, Thomas Goodhart says y'all cray. Pack wins 41-31.
Well, what?
That's what he says. That's what it says right there. Y'all cray. Pack wins 41-31.
Well, cray, huh? Wow.
I guess we're cray.
That's funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, cray. That's funny. And now Alan has himself a new man crush. Oh boy, a bromance is brewing.
Oh my! Look out!
Oh my God, we're gonna lose control. We keep talking like that. All right.
Ed Allen, baby.
I want to double check it. I wanted to bring this up because the voting was still able to continue all the way up to this. So I want to mention these because this is the last time we'll be doing any kind of podcast before any games start. And as long as my schedule and Ed's schedule are free, and I've talked about this, we're hoping to do podcasts every Monday and Friday. That's the goal. One way or the other, I hope we get to do one at least of those two if we can't cover both. But again, it all depends on our schedule. All right, tonight's game, based on the pick'em, right now has Baltimore with 19 and Carolina with 8.
Wow.
So yeah. Wow. So up to 27 voters, 19 of them have gone Baltimore. And I'll give a quick hit on tomorrow's games. Boston and Tampa Bay. Boston's the favorite in 18-9. Arizona is the favorite over Philadelphia 16-10. And Tokyo is the favorite over New York 15-13. And of all the games, that one still shocks me the most, considering based on the power ranks that we did, the community as a whole voted New York number one in the league. Damn. I don't know.
But yet they're not being voted.
And yet they're being outvoted in the pick'em. So that's interesting to me.
That I find that very interesting.
Yes. So, it is what it is.
Sure is. That's what makes it fun.
Now Carolina's owner, Allen JD, if you will, JD Lawson Allen Drum, he's now sharing love for the kicker, which is Ed Allen, named after himself and Ed.
Yes, it is.
Oh my!
It's freaking
Speaking of
hilarious.
kickers, speaking of kickers or punters in this league, I don't know if anyone caught it during the preseason game, but we do have one hilarious ass name for one of them.
Do
I
we?
don't know if you caught the one I'm talking about.
No, I don't think I did.
The punter for Arizona.
Okay.
His first name is Tim. His last name
Okay.
is Buck, and he wears the number 2.
He's Timbuktu. I like it.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I had to share that because that was one of the names he came up with. He also named 2 of his defensive linemen, Fred Cross, which obviously is in
Sounds like
reference
Red
to
Cross.
Red Cross,
Yes.
and he named the other one Ernest T. Groom, which to
Sounds
him
like
was emergency room. So, Fred Cross
I like
and
it.
Ernest T. Groom, along with Tim Buck, who wears the number 2. Guys are insane.
But they're having fun. That's all that matters.
But yeah, um, I also want to mention this real quick. The games, as we all know, start tonight. Remember them. Remember the games. Remember the plays. Remember the moments, because we'll be doing an awards show at the end of the season. So everyone is going to get to vote. Everyone's going to have their vote. Everybody's voice counts. Everybody's thought and opinions counts. And it all starts tonight. I'm not revealing what's going to be up for vote or what's not, and that's simply because we're not 100% sold on what's what yet, but you can get a good guess. So, to me, here's how I do it. This is how I did it in other leagues. I'd watch week 1, and I would write down the play that I thought was the play of the year or the game or who's this or who's that each week. So after week 1, I had my list. Then when I went into week 2, I said, okay, did anybody or anything beat out what I wrote down in week 1? If it did, I edited it. And I did that all the way through the season, so I knew exactly what I wanted to vote for. So it might just be something guys might want to do when it comes to the end of the season. So they remember everything. You know, you just break it down week after week after week instead of all at one shot. So, but the kickoff is 5 hours away, just a couple minutes more. So, been on here an hour and a half. It's clearly time to wrap this one up. So,
It's
do
in
you
the
have any
van.
final thoughts?
Because your mom. Hold on a second. Your mom was looking for it. Okay. Looking for his soccer jersey. He's got soccer tomorrow.
But yeah,
Final thoughts?
Yeah, we're a little over 5 hours to kickoff. Do you have any final thoughts as far as this weekend goes, tonight's game, or whatever the hell it might be?
Real simple. These games are going to be off the hook.
Well, here's my final thought. Thank you. That's all I can say, really. You know, and if guys aren't quite sure what I mean by a thank you, that's thrown out to everybody who's involved here, everyone who's made it, a point to be a part of this league, to have fun in this league. You know, I've told everybody, no matter what stories you may think you know or heard, that our door is open to every single person who wants to be here. No one has ever been given the ultimatum of picking one league over another league. No one's been told you're out of here for this or that reason. Doors are open. I don't care who you are. Come, join us, be a part of this. Sit down, enjoy what we're doing, because we got a great group of guys here, a great community here, and there's still that still that sore spot with some guys, and I just think that all goes away once tonight starts. And that's what I'm hoping to see. And once this season progresses even more, I think we'll hear less and less of other things and more of the important things, which, God, we can't get to that fast enough. But, again, thanks to everybody who's been a part of this. And tonight, Davis and it's Cody Kaline. Love you guys. Do your thing. We're going to kick ass. And to the Pack and the Bulls, good luck to both teams. And the party's about to begin. Don't forget, tomorrow, 1 o'clock, 2 more games. And at 4 o'clock will be the final game of the week. So we'll have 4 teams that will enter week 1 undefeated and leave undefeated. I don't think you're really undefeated if you're 0-0, but what the hell? You don't have a loss. And get ready for that discussion next week, because we're going to have 4 teams that are 4-0, and I'm going to drop this question on you already so you can prepare for it for next week, which will probably be Monday. Of the 4 teams that are currently 1-0, which one do you think is the strongest and could possibly be the one that runs the table?
Wow, after 1 game, you're actually going to...
Yes.
Really?
You damn right.
You're insane.
Yes, I am.
You're absolutely insane. You are. But it's makes things interesting.
Sure does.
And then, and I'll,
because I might not be able to answer that question.
Right. And I'll also say thank you to everybody too. Because, and we gotta, we gotta thank you. We gotta thank, Chris Davis and, Kyle Walsh, if you and just didn't get it in your head, hey, we can do this. Hell yeah, we can do this. And then start pushing everybody for this to happen, we wouldn't be where we're at now. So we got to, give you guys a round of applause and thank you for that too. And hey, I know you didn't want me to, but damn it, I'm saying it anyway because I have. And like I said, I'm going to say it all season long until I'm blue in the face. Okay. Because I like it and because I have big shoulders and I don't give a shit what people think. I don't care. I'm going to say it like I always do. For all the doubters, the haters, the naysayers, for everybody to say, oh, there's no way in hell they can't do it. There's no way they're going to get guys to join. There's no way they're going to get this product going. I'll say it. Real simple. How do you like it now? Really? I knew as soon as the doubter started and the stuff started, that would get you motivated. And good Lord, look at where we're at. Like I said, I can't say that enough either. Got you so motivated and you so amped up that you got everybody else amped up, everybody else motivated. And then now we're 5 hours away from the very first IFL game in the IFL history. I mean, holy crap. I got goosebumps just thinking about it. I mean, I can't wait.
Yeah, I came home from work, and 99% of the time when I come home from work, I'm falling asleep before I even get in the front door. Especially when the morning before or the morning that I go to work, I'm up by 7 o'clock at the latest, getting my kids off for school, which was the case yesterday morning. I woke up at 7, got the kids ready for school, didn't sleep, went to work, didn't get in my door until about 7:30, which means I was up for 24 and a half hours. I went and took a shower because I'm not one of those guys who's going to come home from work and not take a shower. I just think that's fucking disgusting. I don't care what line of work you're in. Take a damn shower when you get home. So I'm in and out of the shower. And then I spend that little bit of time with my kids before they go off to school, which is around a little around 8:30, I think it is, that they leave. So at that point, I'm supposed to lay down. I was so wide awake for some damn reason, it wasn't even funny. So I'm sitting on the floor in the living room against the wall on my phone playing my Rocky app. Yeah, I love the movie Rocky. I think the Rocky series is the greatest movie series of all time. And I'm playing the Rocky app on my phone, and I'm just sitting there playing, and I'm not paying attention to the time. And then the wife comes home from going up to the bank. She looks at me and says, "You're not in bed yet?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I probably should be in bed, huh?" And she kind of chuckles. She heads off to work, where she had to be at work at 10. Then she sends me a message to let me know she's there, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And there you go. There's the video game on my phone. A nice app. All right, I'm bugging out here. There was no need to even play that, but I had to because that's just freaking great. Um, it's actually a pretty cool
Hey,
game. It's simple and easy.
actually, it's pretty fitting, dude, because you know we are considered the underdog.
Yeah, but
No one gave us a shot, but now
yeah,
we're in that fight now. So
right.
now we got to be like Rocky. So
Yeah. So yeah, and then after she fucking laughed at me and stuff, I was like, yeah, I guess I should go to bed. You always give the wife the hug and the kiss. She heads off to work, and call me whatever you want to call me. I'm not one of the kind of people who can just go to sleep until I know my wife's at work safe. If she just left while I'm awake, so she had to text me and let me know she was at work safe. Unfortunately for me, the internet was down at her job, which meant the phone went down because they have the same hookup like I got. Everything's the same. It's under one thing. So when you lose one, you lose them both. So she couldn't get a hold of me one way or the other. I was like 5 minutes away from getting dressed and heading the direction that she goes and taking the path that she goes, making sure she made it safe. And I literally got up, went to go get socks and everything, and then my phone went off. She's like, "Internet was down. I'm here safe." I'm like, "All right, good. I can go to bed." And that was basically at 11 o'clock. I lay down in the room, tossed and turned, couldn't sleep. And I think it's because I'm so excited for this evening, you know.
nice.
And once the game starts, once that first kick happens or whatever, you know, I'm envisioning Mr. Klein, Mr. Optimus Klein, Mr. Cody Klein, Sexy Klein, as I would like to refer to him. I can just envision him during the game live, as soon as the kick happens, going, "Yo, Adrian, I did it!" So,
Oh, that's awesome.
and it's kind of crazy. He said Rocky, the underdog story, blah, this and that. How fitting we actually have a team in the league called the Stallions.
It's true.
Mm,
'Cause
God,
he was the Italian stallion.
he was. That's wow. Think about this for a minute. Maybe you are onto something here when you mention that,
I'm telling you.
because we got the Stallions. Okay, we got the Stallions. Arizona has a player named Balboa.
True.
Uh, I don't think we have an Apollo or a Creed anywhere, or Drago. I don't think we have any of those guys. We definitely don't have a clubber. I'm getting crazier, but yeah, that's gonna be fun. Now I'm looking at the Stallions right now. Black and yellow is what's on there here, and that was Rocky's colors that he wore, except for the first fight when he wore the white with the red stripe. And then the freaking
Right.
poster was made wrong, and it was red with white stripe. Yeah, I remember all this stuff. Then he went home and bitched at Cuff and Link about it, which was his turtles. The butt kiss. That was the dog, which was really his dog in real life. Okay, I'm getting a whole Rocky thing here, but hey, wait a minute. Butkus is the name of a football player. See, he knew ahead of time that this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's all part of the master plan. We knew this was going to happen back in '77. During a movie that was released like 6 months before my birth. Oh man, I think Rocky.
Since you got going on this, um, do you know the gentleman that the Rocky movies are made for?
Chuck.
Mm-hmm. Do you know they have now made a movie about him?
Yeah.
And did you
That's
know
right.
that the fight that basically started all this was in Richfield, Ohio?
Mm-mm. Yeah, that's true. It was in Ohio.
Yeah, he fought Muhammad Ali in Richfield, Ohio, and that's what. And Stallone saw the fight,
Hmm.
and it got his wheels turning, and that's how he come up with Rocky.
And the movie about Chuck Wepner, but his name is just simply known as Chuck.
Right.
It was I think that came out last year, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm trying to remember
Actually,
the guy.
it's just now getting ready to come out.
Well, because I know I've
He
seen
was
one called Chuck.
yeah. They had it in. Uh, it did come out. I don't think it was in the States. I want to say it was somewhere else. They had it come out last year, and then now they're bringing it to the States.
Yeah, because I saw this
Which,
movie about a week ago. I actually got to see it a week ago. You're gonna make me look it up just to see, because I'm trying to remember the guy's name. It's right on the tip of my tongue. What's his name? The guy who was in Sons of Anarchy. Al Braverman is the character's name. He plays Al Braverman. It's Ron Perriman. Perriman, however he says his name.
mhm.
But he's in that, and I think it's Liv Schreiber who plays Chuck.
Right.
I think that's how he says his name. Liev. I'm looking it up as I'm saying this right now because I have to. So I'm going to go to the Internet Movie Database since we got on this Rocky kick
Yes,
or whatever.
he was in the for the Marvel geeks out there, which I'm happen to be one. He is Sabretooth in the one Wolverine movie.
Yes, X-Men Origin. Yes, right here is.
And
Aha.
and I can tell you that the Cleveland radio station I listen to all the time had Chuck on last week, and he was talking, and he could not talk more wonderful things about the guy who's playing him. He said he is freaking amazing. He said he bust his ass to get into shit and to do what he had to do to learn how to be me and all. Oh yeah, it was a hell of an interview.
Right. And how fitting. I'm looking at it now. I just brought it up, and yeah, we got It was originally named The Bleeder. That was the original title for this, and it was released on May the 5th. So it just came out 2 weeks ago. And how fitting! One of the main characters in this movie is Linda, played by Naomi Watts, and we have Slinky Watts.
There, see,
Yeah,
it's all I'm telling you.
all the crossovers, just because I.
It's all coming together. But yeah, I think the reason it was called the Bleeder is because I think his nickname he was something Bleeder or something was his nickname.
Say that again.
His nickname, whatever the town that he was from, I think it was that town, and he was called that the whatever Bleeder. If I remember right, that's what he was called.
Bayonne.
Yes.
Yep, the Bayonne Bleeder. Such a weird nickname, but yeah, he was the kind of guy that his eyes would begin to swell as he walked to the ring, and then during the pre-fight instructions, he'd begin to bleed.
Okay.
Oh, that was pretty much his deal. But we totally took this to a whole whatever. But sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
So I don't have anything left to say. I know you said you didn't have anything left to say. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, tonight on YouTube, the link will get posted probably by Mr. Davis, because him and Cody will be getting together to hook it up. They'll be going live. And 8:30. And don't forget, tomorrow at 1, 2 games are getting released. Tampa Bay and Boston. Philadelphia is at Arizona. And then 4 o'clock that afternoon, however you want to refer to it, New York will be at home taking on Tokyo. So it's going to be a fun, eventful next 24 hours, less than 24 hours, really. because the final game will end before this game ever starts 24 hours later. So 4 games in the next 24 hours or less. And again, thanks to everybody involved. Make sure you're there. Pay attention to Slack for the link. It'll get tweeted. It'll be dropped on the Facebook. Again, find us on Facebook. Join the group page there because I post a lot of updates and things there as well, just in case you don't have the Slack for your phones and you have the Facebook stuff. So, Ed, no more words?
Nope.
Right.
I think we covered it all. I think we're all good, except, you know, just I will say what everybody else has been saying all day. It's game day, baby.
Friday night. Woo! Yeah, that's the thing we used to do at McCaskey. All right. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thanks everybody for whatever role you had. Appreciate it. For Ed Ritter, Doug Bose, this has been Inside the IFL. We'll see you tonight for kickoff, 8:30.
All
Later.
right. Later.